Multiple traders, and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So it's the turn of the big earnings season again. Tesla, Microsoft, and a host of other big corporate names really starting to show, or rumored to show, their expectations for the next quarter and actually the next rest of the year, really. And we're seeing that on the charts that there is a bit of a buoyant mood now with the indices, especially the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq, really starting to try and get those record peaks once again. And as I said, this is on the back of progressive earnings season that has started this week and is expected to continue. We're not expected to hear any surprises from the Fed on Wednesday on their interest rate decision, the first call of the year. They are expected to stick with the range that they're in at the moment. But obviously, the Fed have thrown up a few surprises in the past, so we could be seeing this once again. But just want to bring your attention on the Dow, first of all, intraday as well, because we did have this very firm resistance roughly just around the 49,700 area. And since then, we've just tried to break it again and again and again. It just hasn't worked. Now we're shifting up for another potential test, just a few points away from that. And as I said before, we are looking very heavily guarded by this particular area. And it could be here to stay, actually, especially if the earnings calls aren't really as progressive as what a lot of traders and economists are already thinking. So this is something that we're looking at quite intensively, because obviously once we get a break above a certain resistance or a certain psychological level, then it just seems to carry on going as well. So on the daily chart for the Dow, as you can see, this very big cluster of price action trying to break above that area. And if we do, then obviously 50,000 is a natural movement and the natural next target for the Dow. And potentially even further than that. We've seen gold and silver in the last few sessions hitting hitting targets after targets and breaking through them. Gold, testing 5,100 already. Silver testing $116 yesterday before just having a bit of a reversal. But similar things going on with indices as well. So S&P as well on the daily chart. As I said, a little bit like the Dow, we're having a bit of a cluster formation at the moment, just trying to break above that particular area. With the S&P, again, naturally 7,000 is the next target, and we're just seeing now price action gearing up for another move towards that potential area. So if you think that we had this gap in the market, we've closed that gap now. It wasn't really a runaway gap as such, because we did have a nice rebound and above that 6,800, just trying to see if we're going to have more and more of a contentious move to the upside. It is really all about the earnings season at the moment. As I said, the big hitters, the heavyweights in these lists of indexes, they're going to start really pushing and testing the highs and lows depending on the signals that they give, obviously the earnings calls that they give, and where to go from here. RSI's not really giving us too much signals as well. They're just going with the flow at the moment. So this is just something we're just looking at, as I said, quite intensively, because every time there is an earnings call, especially in this big AI bubble that we're having at the moment, it is a bubble. It's very, very exciting to see where all these prices can go again and again. So I'm losing my breath. It's very, very exciting at the moment in the markets. Where we can go to next, is the Fed going to have any big moves, any big decision to play in this? We'll have to wait and see. But as always, we bring you all the latest in fundamentals and technicals as they come. So stick with us, stay ahead, trade responsibly, and we'll speak again next time. Bye.